Welcome back to Treasures from the Purans, a treasure chest of fascinating stories from the Puran genre of Indian literature. The curated stories in this series are from Srimad Devi Bhagavatam, which I have adapted for this podcast. I'm Valentina Trivedi, bringing you treasures from the Purans. Srimad Bhagavatam Punyam Nanakhyanakavanvitam Dvaipayanamukhodbhutam Panchalakshana Sanyutam Shrinvatam Sarvapapagnam Shubhadam Sukhadam Tatha Itihasamidam Punyam Kirtitam Muni Sattamaha. Anybody who hears this Srimad Bhagavatam, endowed with 5 characteristics and filled with various anecdotes that came out of the mouth of Vyasa, finds all his sins destroyed and attains peace and blessedness. O Munis, this holy history has thus been described to you. In the last episode, you listened to the story of Indra's deplorable act. The episode ended with King Janmejay wondering aloud that if Indra, the son of the highly intelligent sage Kashyap, can commit such a dastardly act, then what can be expected from mere mortals? O revered Guru, said King Janmejay to sage Vedvyas, there is no doubt that my great-grandfather committed horrible acts on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Dear listeners, King Janmejay is referring to the Pandav prince Arjun. Arjun's son was Abhimanyu, whose son Parikshit was Janmejay's father. Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, Karna, even Yudhishthir, who is the part incarnation of Dharma, were all instigated into this irreligious and unholy act of war, urged on by Krishna. All these men were highly intelligent and capable and knowledgeable about the transitory nature of this world. How then did they commit such acts? O Holy One, what faith and regard can we have for a religion when such high-souled followers of it commit such irreligious acts? In fact, I doubt whether religion exists at all. O best of Munis, my heart is very agitated on hearing these tales. When self-interest is obstructed, jealousy and anger arise, and to pursue one's own interest arise untruthful words. Even the pure, virtuous Sri Krishna consciously assumed the garb of a Brahmin for the purpose of killing Jarasandha. The Pandits of yore declared that truth is the first foot of Dharma, cleanliness the second, compassion the third, and charity the fourth. Devoid of these, how can religion stand its ground? Vishnu, the Lord and Preserver of the universe, continued Janmejay, assumed his dwarf incarnation with the sole objective of cheating King Bali, the king of the Daityas. Dear listeners, this is a good point to share the story of King Bali with you. The demon king Bali, the grandson of Prahlad, was virtuous and powerful. Through his penance and power, he conquered the 3 worlds, which included Swarg or heaven, the abode of the Devatas. The distraught Devatas prayed to Vishnu, requesting him to help them regain control of Swarglok. Vishnu, in the form of a dwarf Brahmin, who came to be known as his incarnation Vaaman, went to King Bali, who was in the midst of a great yajna. The merciful and generous King Bali was giving away alms. Vishnu, in Vaaman incarnation, asked him for land that just 3 of his steps would cover. The demon guru Shukracharya warned King Bali not to agree to this, as there seemed to be some mischief afoot. But the large-hearted Bali agreed to grant Vaaman's request. The dwarf Vaaman then started growing. He grew and reached a colossal size. Then he took his first step, which covered the entire earth. In his second step, he covered the heavens or Swarg. "Where do I put my third step?" he asked King Bali. Without a second thought, King Bali bowed before him so Vaaman Avtaar could put his foot on Bali's head. Vishnu, as Vaaman Avtaar, put his foot on Bali's head, driving him to rule Sutal, which is believed to be one of the 7 netherworlds or Patal. Pleased with Bali's selfless devotion and commitment to his promise, Vishnu promised to always be with him as his protector and doorkeeper in Sutal. He also blessed Bali to visit his people on earth annually. That annual visit of King Bali is celebrated as the festival of Onam in Kerala. King Janmejay continued to voice his thoughts to sage Vedvyas. King Bali was virtuous, charitable, truthful, in control of his passions, and a protector of the Vedas. Why was such a person dislodged from his exalted position by Vishnu, the protector of the world? He said. Who was victorious in this interaction? Bali or Vaaman? Who was better of the two? I have grave doubts about this point. O best of Brahmins, continued Janmejay, you are the composer of the Purans, virtuous and even-minded. Please enlighten me. O king, the victor was certainly King Bali, replied sage Vedvyas, because he fulfilled his promise and gave up his kingdom. Vishnu was indeed dwarfed before him. O king, there is nothing in religion superior to truth. For resorting to falsehood, Vishnu became the gatekeeper at King Bali's palace. It is hardly possible for a human being to be truthful at all times. Composed of the 3 qualities of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, powerful indeed is the world created by Maya in its numerous forms. It is only sages and saints who can observe truth in its pure form, because they are without any attachments or desires. All the others are enmeshed in the strands of the 3 gunas of Maya, or the Triguni Maya. O king, continued sage Vyas, as soon as one is born, one is enveloped by Maya, so no one can remain pure and untainted by falsehood and deceit. Indriyani pramathini tadasaktam manastatha karoti vividhan bhavan guresteh prerito brisham. The sense organs confound the mind and, urged on furiously by the 3 gunas, make one follow the path of sensual enjoyment. When one doesn't get one's desired object, one resorts to stealth and deceit, committing sinful acts. Lust, anger, and greed are very powerful. A person under their influence cannot distinguish right from wrong. When bestowed with wealth, might, and rank, it is easy to become egoistic, and from ego comes delusion. Then jealousy, intolerance, and enmity spring in the heart, followed by hope, thirst, misery, low-spiritedness, and irreligiosity. Strange though it may seem, it is because of ahankar or egoistic tendencies that people perform sacrifices, practice religious rites and ceremonies, go on pilgrimages, or do charity. Hence, these acts arising from ahankar are unable to purify the mind. When an action is done through greed or undue attachment as its motive, it cannot be pure. O king, continued sage Vyas, this universe has sprung from ahankar or egoism. That is why even the devatas are always discontented, filled with jealousy and envy, at war and fearful of the power of austerities being practiced by ascetics. There is no need to dwell at length on this point. Suffice it to say that holy, unholy, and mixed people exist in all ages or yugas. To the holy, all the yugas are Satyug. To the unholy ones, it is always Kali Yuga, or the Dark Age. And to the mixed ones, it is always Treta or Dwapar.